Hey ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the channel. Today we'll be playing a little bit of Wargroove. I'm gonna show you the intro to the campaign as well as how some of the mechanics work. As you can see, I've already done about 5 missions. Um, and it's been relatively fun. The first few are a little daunting. You just kind of get told where to move your units and what to do with them. But after about the third level, you start to really get to take some control over the tactics that you want to use in order to defeat the enemies that are presented with you. Um, what I would recommend, this is a game by Chucklefish. It's available for I think $20 on Steam. It's a good pickup. If anybody's familiar with Advanced Wars from in the past, it's a very similar to that. As well as, but it's in the same art style as what Chucklefish creates. So if you've ever played Starbound, or I think they were also the team that ported Stardew Valley, that would all be a very similar art style to what we see here in Wargroove. The pixelated art can get a little blurry when it comes to trying to identify which units are where. It is very easy to not be able to recognize which units. It can be very easy to not recognize what units. Like the knights kind of have a picture. I'll show you later in the video. The knights kind of have a horse for their picture, which makes sense. But it can be hard to distinguish between the knight and, say, like the dog Caesar. Or some of the other units that you'll see in the future, but I'll show you. Today we'll be just looking at some of the intro mechanics, and let's get this started. We'll start with this first mission. At the beginning, under the cover of night, High Vampire Sigrid makes a daring attack on Cherrystone Castle. So with a vampire, we are already establishing that it's going to be a fantasy setting. One night at Cherrystone Castle. This weather's giving me the spooks. Did you hear that? Cut it out, man. It's just thunder. But I'm going to patrol the throne room. Yeah, good idea. Hey, wait for me. Ooh, and they're followed by this floating individual. Cowards jumping at shadows and dropping their guard. Turn 1. You get to play as this mouse woman. I assume she's the vampire. Getting to the king shouldn't be much of a challenge. There he is, all alone in his chambers. How convenient. The fewer guards I dispatch, the quicker this will be. But some unfortunate wretches still stand in my way. I'll start by defeating that one over there. So you left click to grab a unit, and then you tell it to move onto a tile by left clicking again. You can then, after moving, attack the tiles adjacent to you. So she would, instead of a unit here, she would be able to attack this unit up here where the candelabra is. And likewise, you can go move south or attack the tile south or backwards. So you don't move on top of the unit as is traditional in some games. So like, say, Civilization. She'll be able to deal what looked like 98% damage here.
This is tiresome. Goodbye.
With little effort, she was able to dispatch that soldier. It's time. Time my daughter learned the truth, but how do I tell her? King seems to have something he needs to tell his daughter. Sigrid moving again. I'll make my way towards the king's chambers. We'll click her, have her move again. I mean, it probably would not be a good idea to move into some of these other ways, but the game doesn't even allow me to. I need to move further into the castle. See? So, earlier missions, you're pretty much railroaded where you need to go. Marcia, a long time ago, before Cherrystone was Cherrystone. No. So he's trying to come up with a speech to tell his daughter, it seems. This is laughably easy. So we're going to move her forward, probably dispatch this guard. It looks like it's giving me some freedom to choose where I want. Oh, interesting. I mean, we'll just go the standard route. I'll just attack her from the side right here.
Are you afraid?
She'll just hover on over and dispatch him. There was once a kingdom called Cacophony and a war known as the Great Dissonance. Really? Cacophony destroyed by the Great Dissonance. I can only presume. Alright, we'll move her further into the castle. Again, you can see that I can't move her onto this light tile. It's highlighted, but only showing where she can attack. So we'll move her here and have her wait. Next turn. This knowledge is too great a burden. Oh, Mercia. Turn 5 for Sigrid. The castle is vast. If I access the overview screen, I can get a glimpse of its true extent. Yeah, of course, the overview screen. Just need to select an unoccupied tile and pick overview. Easy enough. Alright, so here we can see where the whole map, the whole map. This screen provides me with objectives and statistics. So many humans, how unpleasant. Still, I can avoid most of them. As my objective says, I'm here for the king. I can close this now and return to my task. Alright, so they're introducing the overview screen with this, you know, showing some of the statistics, showing how much gold each player has, the income that they have. We'll be introduced to these mechanics later. And the units. Of course, he's got a ton of human units. While I, the lonely Sigrid, must sneak into the castle and dispatch the king. Assassinate the king of Cherrystone. Time to defeat a few more hapless guards and make my way to the king's chamber. Yeah, I mean, I wonder if you can not attack it. I'll just do it. Make the game simple. Try to get through it as quickly as I can. Not looking for any sort of high score. Turn
My
5.
little bluebird.
I'll start slowly. My darling bluebird, I need to tell you something. It's not bad. Good way to introduce somebody to some news is probably ease them into it. No need to bombard them with information. We'll move her forward, have her wait. King coming up with more lines. It's a very long story about something that happened a long time ago. Next, dispatch this final guard.
Are you afraid?
Turn 7. A very long time ago indeed. Why can't the past stay the past? Now which should be my final turn. During combat, you see some of the lines and some of the percentages. You don't understand what those mean just yet, but it'll all come to fruition here in the next couple of missions. It'll show you what the percentages mean and whether you can show the retaliations. At last, how did you?
What?
Secret. Oh. Humans are so frail. Do you understand what you've just done? You'll start a war. War? The inane squabble of children. Where is the key?
Safe.
You'll never have it. The key is in safe hands, far from the grasp of a monster like you. Safe hands before you die. Understand this. Nothing is safe from me.
Listen.
You're making a mistake. Hush now. She's done it. Still, the key eludes me. No matter. It's close. I can feel it. So, she was really in search of a key over killing the king. But sometimes it's more efficient to dispatch him. Anyways. Alright, so that was the first mission. It gives you a sort of scoring system. As you can see, I got an S for easily dispatching the guards. That, you know, first mission. Kind of just railroad you through it. 3 stars to earn per mission. These are just some of the stats. It shows who was defeated.
Yes.
Well done, princess. Your skill with the cherry blade improves yet further. Thank you. Oh, wolf from Caesar. That's alright, Caesar. It's just one of the royal guards. Lord Emmerich. Is this important? You disturbed the princess's lessons? The king, my lord. The king has been killed.
What?
What?
No!
Oh, no, father.
I'm sorry.
Marcia, I'm so sorry.
Ugh.
Who did this? Sir, the assailant appears to have been a vampire. The Felheim Legion. Princess Marcia, the murder of your father is an act of war. We must defend the kingdom. War? We're at war? Doesn't look like she was ready for a war such as this. Next over, it has you move. Typically you would see the little dots move and then you can choose the next location. And this is the next one, the breach. An unsure Marcia faces her first test as monarch of Cherrystone. So, the dates are up here. This is the prologue over at Cherrystone Castle, and this was in March, on March 5th. So this was actually several months later. And the cutscene will show that. Several months later.
My queen.
Congratulations on your coronation, Queen Marcia. Emmerich, do you really think I'm ready to be queen?
I have no doubt.
You are your father's daughter. I hope you're right.
Ah!
Majesty, Felheim scouts have breached the border.
What?
They're here? In Cherrystone?
Let's go.
I can do this. I know you can. Oh, you dropped your crown. Wait, your majesty, your crown. Hoof it, boy. Alright. So now we're in command of Marcia. These skeletal warriors are Felheim troops. We must defeat them all to secure this region. We should begin by attacking the closest dread swords with one of our swordsmen. Right, let's get this over and done with. So, no hero units just yet on the battleground, but we can we'll be attacking with one of our regular soldiers. And this will show the percentages. The game will introduce this, but so the swordsman will do 54% damage to the skeleton, and it will take retaliation damage of 19%. It'll show this during the fight. Notice the numbers that have appeared next to the two battling units?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a little number next to each of them. These represent the unit's health. They appear when it drops below 95%. The number 5 indicates that a dread sword is down at around 50% health. And my swordsman is down to 80%.
Very well.
Got it. Then let's attack the dread sword with our second swordsman. Alright, easy enough. So we'll move the swordsman forward and have an attack at the other angle, doing 50% damage. My queen, may I interject for a moment? When selecting a target, a damage preview will appear above its head. The damage preview indicates what damage will be dealt by both units during the combat. Sounds handy. You see, the health of a unit suggests more than how it is to defeat. The more damage a unit takes, the weaker its attack power becomes. So a health unit is a stronger unit? Indeed, but it looks like your swordsman will do just fine here. So he's going to move up, and it didn't show any retaliation percentage. So this indicates that they'll be able to easily annihilate the swordsman and not take any damage in return. It is now the enemy's turn.
What?
More undead? Seems they're not giving up quite yet. Soldiers are moving up on their own. And now it's my turn. It looks like we got some reinforcements from up north. Friendly reinforcements have arrived. Just in the nick of time. Look, it seems we've been provided with a new unit type, the pikeman. This might be a good time for you to learn about critical hits. Critical hits?
Yes.
All units have conditions under which units are stronger. We call these attacks critical hits. I've never heard of these. Don't worry, my queen, this information is easy to find. Let me show you how to find information about a critical. Alright, so we right-click a unit in order to show the tile information screen. Oh, this is the tile info screen. Here we can find useful information about our selected unit. This part gives us a good overview of the unit, showing that the pikeman is slower, more powerful infantry, critical hit when adjacent to another spearman. That's some useful information. You can bring up this info screen on any unit, terrain, or structure. Use it often and you'll learn fast. Alright, I'll make sure to check it often. When you're ready, you can close this window. So this provides a lot of information, a lot of useful information. Knowing how much a unit can move is good to know. for planning in the future and knowing what units that they're effective against and what units they're vulnerable to. Really strategic information. We can close this for now.
Very well.
We should make sure that the pikemen stick together. Got it. Alright, so selecting the second pikeman, I can move him forward, and with him being adjacent to the other spearmen, he should be able to do bonus damage. That's what the information screen is implying. So we'll have him attack this other unit, doing 120% damage. Now let me draw your attention to the damage preview once more. The arrow is flashing. You can very slightly tell, but it's kind of going from a pinkish color to a red to sort of indicate that it is a critical hit. Well spotted. A flashing arrow in the damage preview is a good sign. It indicates that you're about to land a critical hit. Now let's see this fight in action. So as he goes on with saying, thanks to the placement of the first pikeman, the second pikeman dealt a critical hit. She learns fast. Keep your pikemen together and with Soul and Shirley strong offensive. When encountering a new unit type, it's important to learn about their crit. I'll leave you to defeat the rest of these Felheim troops. Thank you, Emmerich. I couldn't do this without you. You can do it without learning about critical hits, that's for sure. So, now we're just going to learn. Let me see if I can't. I mean, it shows an overview on a very small map this time around. Defeat the invading forces. We have some gold this time with some income, but no barracks. The barracks is a building that will be introduced later. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually attack with the stronger swordsman. So do 60% damage with retaliation of 24. The attacking unit always gets an advantage because it deals damage and then is returned by the weakened and then the retaliation damage is by the weakened forces. So this now 37% skeleton is what ended up retaliating and doing only 23% damage. If this was a 100% strength skeleton, it would be doing a good chunk, maybe around 40 to 60% damage, with my unit being able to do less damage in return. Something to keep in mind. Gonna move him forward, have him attack. Turn 2 for the skellies. Oh, see, he's going to be doing full-on attack against the pikemen. Oh, yes. Most of my forces were defeated there. Over 50%. So that's making a small retaliation against the units. So they was able to deal 55% damage while only retaliating with 43%. That shows the advantage that an attacking unit has over a defending unit. Something to definitely keep in mind. So what my plan is, I'm gonna try to attack with this pikeman. I mean, I guess from the sea isn't to show much of a. I mean, it should outright kill is what this is showing. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move him slightly to the left and have him come in and finish him off. Now you'll see that it is. I mean, you can barely tell, but it is actually a flashing red arrow showing a critical hit. So instead of doing the normal 60% damage that he would be doing from this angle and have the arrow not flashing, it's going to be doing 50% more damage by attacking from the top because he's going to be next to his pikeman ally. Let's land this attack. Now that's the last of them. Well done, my queen. We did it. A good start, but Felheim won't stop there. We must remain vigilant. They'll be back? Yes, and in greater numbers. A whole horde of skeletons. Indeed, and much else besides. I've forgotten you had so little experience with the undead. Cherrystone is normally so peaceful. Never seen them here before. But now they're coming and they won't stop. An undead army. All undead but one. We've spoken in your lesson of their leader, Valder. A living man and a necromancer of great power I haven't forgotten. Well, we should make a move. The undead are likely to be advancing upon other parts of the kingdom. Emmerich, do you think Valder will come to Treystone himself?
Yes?
Yes, Your Majesty, I do. Oh, she seems worried. Majesty, wait! Your crown! Alright, got a good LS rating. Again, pretty much a railroaded mission. Wasn't that hard. Alright, and that'll be it for the prologue and the first mission of Wargroove. It's a pretty great strategy game. This is just the first mission, so a lot more mechanics will become introduced as we start progressing through this campaign. At some point, unlocking additional game modes that you can do. But that's it. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content. You can follow me at LSuperBeast05 on Twitter or join the Discord at the link under the video. Bye.